This is Daniel Bryan, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. Johnny North is right here with me, here with you every Saturday night, talking professional wrestling on TSN 690. We got a lot of professional wrestling to talk about. So much happening in the world of WWE. We are on the road to Fastlane. An Elimination Chamber just went down this past Sunday. It was a major event, and now we have Fastlane, which will be the last show before WrestleMania.
The last big show, anyways.
Pay-per-view. Right, the last pay-per-view. Of course, Raw and Smackdown happening every week. We can't forget about that. Fastlane coming up March the 10th in Cleveland, Ohio. So we have 2 weeks? Really?
That's right.
Whoa. What? This is a 3-week build to Fastlane. That is fast.
We already have like 2 or 3 matches already booked, and I think most of the cards are starting to shape up already.
So 2 more episodes of Raw and SmackDown before Fastlane. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston is official for the WWE Championship, and the Usos giving Miz and Shane a rematch for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Usos beating Miz and Shane at the Elimination Chamber. If you want to hear my thoughts on the Elimination Chamber, you got to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. After every WWE pay-per-view, I am live on YouTube, sometimes with Johnny. Johnny actually had a big match this past Sunday, so he was too beat up to make the post-show at Elimination Chamber. He was nursing his wounds. But my brother stepped in as a co-host for the night, and we recapped the Elimination Chamber. So here on Wrestling Uncensored, we're going to be moving forward to Fastlane and Raw and SmackDown that happened this week. But quickly, before we do, John, what did you think overall of the Elimination Chamber show?
I'm happy about any pay-per-view that ends a little bit after 10 p.m.
Yeah, right.
That's fantastic.
Really early.
I'm very happy with that. I thought the effort was great. The chamber matches were a lot of fun. A lot of the in-between was kind of pointless, but I'm not going to complain about a pay-per-view that ends roughly about 10 p.m. That's great.
So you were mainly happy that it ended early. That was your main takeaway from Elimination Chamber. I thought the chamber match was good. The WWE Championship match. I thought Bryan and Kofi at the end was excellent.
Oh, both chamber matches I thought were the best part of the show, without question. But the main part is the show ends early. That seems like a first. I can't remember the last time that's happened. And I can't criticize a show negatively that ends early, because that's the main problem with WWE shows. They're too long.
Yeah, it was like a 3-hour pay-per-view.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, 7 to 10 p.m.
And it won't be like that for WrestleMania, so enjoy it while it lasts.
I could see Fastlane being a quick show like that. 3 hours in and out.
I hope it is. It should be. Keep it up.
Yeah. Anything over 3 hours is just way too... It's too long. It's too long. So, it was decent, I'd say, but it wasn't a groundbreaking pay-per-view from the WWE. Right? And I think they realized that and decided to shake things up on Raw by bringing in Ricochet, Aleister Black, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. The top 4 guys, without counting Velveteen Dream,
right,
in NXT. And a few months ago, they announced a bunch of people from NXT being called up, like the Heavy Machinery, like the Lacey Evans, like the Lars Sullivan, which never materialized, right? They EC3. And at the time, our complaint was that these really weren't the top guys. If you were really trying to bring in people of impact from NXT, you'd be trying to bring in Aleister Black, Ciampa, Gargano, Ricochet, Io Shirai, people like that. And now on Raw and SmackDown this week, we got to see some real talent from NXT move up and hopefully now staying on the main roster. Johnny Gargano lost the North American Championship to Velveteen Dream this week. So Velveteen, now the champion, Gargano dropping the belt. Maybe Ciampa, the NXT champion, is next. And we could expect to see all four guys stay up on the main roster, which I think it's about time. Like, what are we waiting for here?
Well,
they're good. Let's see it.
With Ciampa, he could still be the NXT champion because Kevin Owens, when he first came from NXT, he was NXT champion for months before he lost it. And he was still doing both. He was doing NXT and Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, for a certain time, but eventually he dropped the belt at a takeover.
I imagine it'll be the same thing with Ciampa. He'll probably lose at the next takeover, and that'll be it. But he'll still be on Raw and SmackDown.
Ricochet teamed up with Finn Balor to take on Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. I thought that match was very good.
I thought Ricochet showed that he's one of the best performers in all of WWE in that match. Showed that he was kind of untouchable in a sense. Felt like he was on another level compared to pretty much everyone else.
Yeah. But I think they still did a good job of maintaining Finn Balor as the main guy in the team. He's the newly crowned Intercontinental Champion. And it still felt like Finn was the man in that match.
Well, you could debate that. I find Ricochet really stood out. Ricochet got the pin, finished the match.
I mean, he was showcased for sure, but I still felt like Finn was the guy. I don't know. I thought it was a good performance, though, from everybody, really, in the match. I liked the Revival match with Gargano and Ciampa, the DIY, right? Those guys,
right?
A great tag team in NXT for a while, having matches with the Revival, and they've split up, but, it was weird, because if you followed the Gargano and Ciampa storyline in NXT, they were a tag team. Ciampa turned on Gargano, turned super evil. They had a long feud with Gargano as the babyface. Gargano never wound up beating Ciampa, turned heel himself, but still in NXT, they didn't seem like they were on the same page. Like, just because they were both heels, it still seemed like they didn't like or trust each other. Then on Raw, they're on the main roster, and all of a sudden, yeah, whatever, we're going to make them a tag team. And they did a little promo backstage to explain it. They were like, oh, I don't know about this. And they're like, whatever, we got to kind of make it work. But it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Nevertheless, the match that they did have as a tag team against the Revival was incredible and made Raw a much better show. I thought Raw was quite good this week. I thought Raw and SmackDown were both very good shows.
Well, I felt for the most part the showings were better on Raw than on SmackDown. I thought Ricochet was great on both shows, but I thought Ciampa and Gargano, the match was better against Revival than it was against the Bar. Ciampa, I thought, got seriously injured against the Bar where he did that sunset flip. Like, that looked disgusting.
That was terrible. It looked really, really bad. Ciampa goes up for a sunset flip on Sheamus off the top rope, or the second rope, I guess.
Right.
And just didn't work out. Sheamus winds up landing right on Ciampa's leg, and it looked like it could have been a knee injury or a broken leg. It was very rough looking. One of the worst sunset flip botches you'll ever see. And that match was weird because I was on the bar's side. Like, as soon as you saw Cesaro, like that backstage promo they did, when Cesaro and Sheamus showed up and they started making fun of them, and Cesaro's like, nobody knows who you are and nobody cares. I kind of looked at Cesaro and thought, like, man, look at this guy. He's the original Ciampa, except he's like way bigger. He's been in it for a while and they've done nothing with him. And now here's Ciampa and Gargano thinking that they're going to come in and have bigger pushes in WWE than Sheamus and Cesaro. I was kind of like on Sheamus and Cesaro's side. They're much bigger. They've been around for a while. They're an excellent tag team. And Cesaro, it could easily be the top guy in any promotion. And if I'm picking, who's my top guy, Ciampa or Cesaro, Gargano or Cesaro, Aleister Black or Cesaro, Ricochet even, I'm going with Cesaro. And it was kind of like, oh yeah, it reminded me how much Cesaro is undervalued by the WWE. Just seeing these new guys come in, big old Sheamus and Cesaro having to job for them, I was like, yeah, come on. Got a job for Miz and Shane, and now you're making these guys job to Ciampa and Gargano. I don't know. I felt bad for Cesaro and Sheamus there.
Yeah, but they were in that role before. They were the new guys on the block, coming in there, beating John Cena. Cesaro winning the U.S. title out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They were in the same position. They know what's about. These guys are a new deal. You got to put them over strong. Make them seem like they could be something.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. But I feel like if Cesaro were coming in today instead of when he came into the WWE, things would be very different for him.
I question that because Vince, again, it's about the promo, and I don't think he ever liked the promo. I don't think he still likes the promo. That would always hold him back, and it's still holding him back to this day.
Yeah, I guess. I thought the match was very good, though, with the bar.
It was good, but you could tell that because of that injury, that kind of switched how I think the match was supposed to go.
Yeah. You all of a sudden saw Gargano doing all sorts of stuff while Ciampa was, like, nowhere to be seen. But then he reemerged in the match, and he seemed to be all right.
He pretty much just finished the match. That was pretty much all he really did.
Yeah.
So, but apparently, there's no word of him being seriously injured, which is a great thing because that'd be horrific if their NXT champion was injured. But wait and see, right? Because it looked really bad.
Do you want to see Ciampa and Gargano on the main roster as a tag team, though?
Yeah, I think as a tag team, they're really great as a tag team.
Yeah?
And especially on Raw, we need that.
Well, they just beat the Raw Tag Team Champions in a non-title match. You'd think they deserve a title shot now, right?
You would think.
If they're going to be on Raw this week, which we still don't know. There's a lot of people on Raw and SmackDown, and you're like, what brand are you on? All these people that got called up from NXT are still kind of floating around. Heavy Machinery. They showed up on Raw this week and did nothing. They did a little promo on the stage, and then they did a bushwhacker walk around, and then Lacey Evans showed up and seemed to be like with them, and then they all left. That was it.
And Lacey Evans was also on SmackDown.
Right. There are rumors that Lacey Evans may get Asuka at WrestleMania.
I could see that. I don't think it's going to be good, but I could definitely see it the way they're pushing her. I mean, she showed up at Elimination Chamber, did the same thing, just come in and go out again.
Yeah.
They're pushing that like crazy for some reason on every show.
They like Lacey Evans.
She does nothing, but they're pushing her.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people like her, like, EC3, and now like Gargano and Ciampa and Aleister Black and Ricochet, who seem to be on both shows. Maybe they'll finally settle it when they have that superstar shakeup the week after WrestleMania, when they do Raw and SmackDown here in Montreal. Which tickets went on sale last week, and a lot of them are it's almost gone.
Not surprised.
Yeah. So people are excited about that, which is good. Good sign.
For future shows, of course.
Yeah. But maybe they're waiting for the shakeup to do something?
I guess just to put some order to everything that's going on, it would make a bit more sense. I think right now it's like you're getting the call-ups before that Raw after WrestleMania, so you can get excited about them now instead of them just being confined to a show. They're all over the place, so you get to enjoy it more.
Aleister Black made his main roster debut. He beat Elias on Raw and then Andrade on SmackDown. I thought the Andrade match was obviously much better. And interesting note that Aleister Black is actually married to Zelina Vega. So Andrade's manager was out there watching her husband beat Andrade.
She didn't really get involved in the match, so I was kind of surprised.
No, well, probably best not to. Not many people know that they're married. Like, it's not been publicized on, like, Total Divas like Dean and Renee. So you could get away with not mentioning it on WWE TV. When you put it out there on a reality show, you got to address it. But because no one really knows and they've kept it pretty private, I think it's fine just kind of going and not even mentioning it.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting with Aleister Black. I think he's got a lot of potential, given the way his whole look is and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how they're going to use him.
The promo, too, I wonder.
I feel the promo isn't that... It's not bad. It's just not amazing. I feel like he needs an amazing promo.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a big guy. A lot of guys are going to be a lot bigger, more imposing than him. And that's going to take away from his gimmick, so... It's going to be interesting to see where he lands. Raw. I think if he's on SmackDown, it's not so bad because they're not really that big of guys. It's more on Raw where it's more of the Giants.
He's a bit of a CM Punk-ish look and style-wise, right?
Yeah.
The thing, though, that set Punk apart was the promo. Without that great promo, Punk doesn't really go anywhere.
Decent push, but not a great push. Not a monster push.
Right. And I feel like Aleister Black is in that kind of camp. Tattooed guy, not great shape. Big enough, but not huge. Good wrestler, but there's got to be a little bit more behind it. I think he's got tons of potential, though. He's, a very good wrestler. Speaking of great wrestlers, Ricochet beat Eric Young on SmackDown. Eric Young got busted up. I think it was from a clothesline that Ricochet hit him with. It was nasty. Eric Young was bleeding all over the place. Ricochet hit his 630 splash to get the win. That's one hell of a move. Ricochet is my guy. Like, of the four guys they called up, I'm highest on Ricochet. I think he is an incredible talent. He does things that no one else can do. Every time he's in there, it's exciting. So, why not more Ricochet? Like, he's the type of guy I would feature all the time because it's non-stop entertainment. There's not a moment during a Ricochet match where you're bored. So, more of Ricochet. He's awesome.
When you talk about, like, great athletes, you can just tell, like, he's phenomenal. He might be the best athlete in WWE. Arguably, I think he is.
That's saying a lot.
It is, but man, is he talented.
To be able to not only pull off those moves, but to be able to pull off those moves every time. That's the brilliance of Ricochet. Like, he can do these things flawlessly every single time. It's amazing.
It's like second nature for him. And that's what makes him so good. It's just, it comes to him naturally.
Yeah. He is, he's an incredible talent, and they could do so much with him. The promo maybe needs work.
Well, it's very average.
A lot of guys, man. A lot of guys are struggling to cut a promo. I don't know what it is. I don't know why the promo isn't coming along for people, but it feels like it's really not there for like 80% of the roster. Like, who can cut a promo right now? Daniel Bryan, The New Day. I'm struggling to find somebody else.
Well, as weird as it was, I thought the Kevin Owens stuff is good.
Yeah, Kevin Owens at the movies with his son this week. I thought that promo was good. Kevin Owens should be back soon. Couple weeks.
I'm loving the rumors that it might be Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan WrestleMania.
I think it's too soon. Everybody wants to see Kofi Mania at WrestleMania. I don't think so. Kofi Kingston is going to get Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. Kofi Kingston is an incredible talent that deserves to be WWE champion. We have been saying this longer than anybody. Like, it's been us, Xavier Woods, and Big E talking about making Kofi champion. And Woods talked about it in that promo saying, like, everybody's talking about this. This isn't new. We've been talking about this for years. The mission has been to make Kofi the champion. And this is what I've been talking about for years on this show. And it's finally happening. And I have to tell you that it's the wrong time.
Wow, I can't believe you're saying that. It's amazing. You finally get it. It's like, no, not now.
It's not time. It's Daniel Bryan's time. This guy's been back for almost a year. Not even a year yet. Look how far he's come. Look at what he's done. This guy has come back from a retirement. 4 years off, gone. Everybody thought he was done. Concussion issues. His wrestling career was prematurely over. You cried when he retired on Raw. At least I did.
Yeah, I didn't cry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I did. Okay?
I'm heartless.
And a lot of people did. It was heartbreaking. He comes back after working so hard to get better. Gets better. Cleared by the doctors. Comes back at WrestleMania. Huge babyface. Manages to turn from a huge babyface into an incredibly hated heel. Saying things like recycle and expand your mind and don't buy just crap to have it. Telling you to consume less, be good for the planet, and getting heat for it, by the way. A groundbreaking heel performance by Daniel Bryan. This was not something I expected the WWE to do. To let him go full on who he is, how he thinks, and what he believes. I did not expect them to let him do this. So when I was saying, you know, it's Kofi's time, I didn't think that he would be there to stop the greatest run in WWE history. What Daniel Bryan is doing right now is groundbreaking. It is new stuff. It is a different kind of WWE champion that we've ever seen. And you can see that just by the belt that he carries around. The title belt that is no longer leather. It's made of hemp and wood. The promos that he's doing, the matches that he's having. This is Daniel Bryan's time. So, as great as Kofi is, as much as he does deserve it, Bryan deserves it more. Bryan deserves the run to continue more. And Bryan deserves a different opponent for WrestleMania. I think Kofi should have a great performance over Bryan at Fastlane. Do something else at WrestleMania where it feels like he's getting screwed over. And then, the night after WrestleMania, beat Seth Rollins for the Universal title. That's what I want to see. Put the New Day on Raw, draft it up, whatever you got to do, or put the Universal title on SmackDown. Put Daniel Bryan on Raw. You want to improve Raw? That's a good way to do it. Bring the WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan, to Raw. I believe Seth Rollins will beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And I believe no one cares about Seth Rollins. And I believe everybody in professional wrestling would be happier with Kofi Kingston as a Universal Champion over Brock Lesnar. Or Seth Rollins. So, let Seth have his moment, but then give it to Kofi. And why sacrifice Daniel Bryan for Kofi when you can have two champions? You have this system set up with two champions. Why would you make Daniel Bryan not the champion when you could just make Seth Rollins not the champion? What's he doing that's groundbreaking or innovative? Burn it down! Architect! Like, come on, man. What's he really doing?
I'm not going to argue about Seth Rollins, but I think the main argument here is that Kofi should be WWE champion and become the first ever black WWE champion.
Ah. Okay.
He should be the guy. But you're saying, no, he shouldn't be that guy.
I'm saying it's just not the time.
Well, they did the same thing with Mark Henry. Oh, you could be the world heavyweight champion. Ron Simmons, world heavyweight, WCW world heavyweight champion. But WWE champion, no.
Give it to him next year. Give it to him next year. Like, elevating Kofi to the main event level is the first step.
I agree. Yeah, sure.
We've done that. He'll have a match at Fastlane with Bryan. Eric Rowan will cheat for Bryan to win. You'll cement Kofi as a legit main eventer, and you can go from there.
Not legit, but he's in the mix, okay.
That's what we needed. To get New Day out of the tag team division and to move Kofi up to the main event singles scene, which is where he's at. This is all good. This is all fine. And don't forget, none of this was supposed to happen. This was supposed to be Mustafa Ali. Kofi wasn't supposed to be in the chamber. Kofi wasn't supposed to go 70 minutes on SmackDown or whatever, however long he wrestled. It was supposed to be Mustafa Ali. But he got hurt, so Kofi got this spot. This was never the plan. There are big plans for Daniel Bryan. There are options from what we're hearing. John Cena apparently is an option. Kevin Owens is an option. We want to see John Cena and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. We've talked about it on this show many times, right?
Well, I'd rather see Kevin Owens, to be honest.
Why?
Because I think Kevin Owens, that's the best match you could possibly do. Wrestling-wise, Kevin's the best one. I think Kevin can also tell a very good story.
But do you really want to see Kevin Owens in his big return match for the WWE Championship lose?
I don't think he'd lose. I think he'd beat Daniel Bryan.
Come on. No one beats Daniel Bryan.
No, Kevin Owens would.
See, we're not living in the same world.
Clearly not.
The world I'm living in, Daniel Bryan is champion forever. No one beats him. Ever. No one.
Forever's not going to last.
Forever. No, forever. Why not? He's the best. There's no one better than him. Champion forever. The next 5 years. Champion until he can't be champion anymore. He's that good. As good as Kevin Owens is. As good as Kofi is. These guys are all great. Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Cesaro, whoever you want to throw. Kenny Omega, AJ Styles. There's only one Daniel Bryan. There's only one guy that does what he does. He is the best. Ichiban. number one.
I think he's good. I think Kevin's better, but
You're biased.
maybe you're biased too. So
You know him. No, you know Kevin Owens. I don't know Daniel Bryan. I'm not biased. I'm an impartial wrestling fan who watches professional wrestling. Kevin Owens is from my hometown. If anything, I would be biased in his favor. But I am not. I see clearly. I don't know Kevin Owens on a personal basis like you do. I don't know the man. I like him. I think he's awesome. He's a great wrestler. I just prefer Daniel Bryan.
Well, Daniel Bryan's had his WrestleMania moment. He's won the WWE Championship. He won the undisputed WWE Championship.
You think Kevin Owens is going to come back 3 weeks before Mania and build towards a WWE title match where he wins? Like, it'd be weird if they did that.
I think it'd be great if they did that. I think it'd be fantastic. I think they should do that. Why is Kevin doing promos? It's leading to something. It should lead to a WWE title match. You talk about how Daniel Bryan complains about people being wasteful. Kevin's kind of being wasteful a bit.
Is he?
Well, with the whole eating.
He's eating.
Yeah.
Popcorn. Well, that's vegan.
Still
Maybe not with the butter.
Not at all.
It's probably not real butter, though. So it's probably vegan. I think popcorn's vegan. So it's fine. You know? Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan don't have a lot to feud about. They don't really have an issue. They're very similar. They wrestled each other at Mania last year. I guess there's that. But, you know, it's a different Daniel Bryan now. Daniel Bryan was a babyface back then. This is the new Daniel Bryan. And the new Daniel Bryan really doesn't have any problems with Kevin Owens. John Cena, on the other hand, now here's a guy who is wasteful. A guy who comes out with a new t-shirt and hat and wristbands for you all to buy and then throw out when the new one comes out. Wasteful. Change it. John Cena's the guy who makes jokes about his very public breakup with Daniel Bryan's sister-in-law, Nikki Bella. Impotent. Change it. There is real stuff to go with for John Cena and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. And it would be a very interesting match. There is a story there where Bryan beat Cena at SummerSlam in 2012?
Roughly around there, I think.
2012, I think.
Maybe 13.
I think it was... No, because 2013 was WrestleMania 30, so this was before that. I think it was 2012. I think I'm right, John. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that info for us here. But they wrestled at SummerSlam 2012, and Bryan beat him. Wait, was it 2012? No, Daniel Bryan beat Kane at SummerSlam 2012. Was it 2013? Are you right? Damn it, I don't want you to be right. Johnny's always right about these things. Yeah, you're right, you Johnny. Yeah, 2013.
You're a year off. It's not that bad.
Close enough, brother. Yeah, so Bryan beat him for the WWE Championship back then, and they haven't wrestled since.
Well, they haven't had the opportunity. They were supposed to, but Daniel got hurt, or Cena just wasn't around, so the opportunity's there. Still, will they do it? I don't know.
Cena looking to break the Ric Flair record. He's 16-time champion. He could be 17 times if he breaks the record, right? If he wins one more title. That's a story going into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that. I'd rather see Kevin try to win the title for
John
the first time.
Cena never loses the rematch, you know? I mean, there's so much that you could build where you're like, uh-oh, is Bryan going to lose here? And then a lot of people will be like, yeah, we want Bryan to lose here. That's the only thing that I don't like about that match and the story is that Bryan is supposed to be the heel, and no one can truly be an all-out heel against John Cena because people always wind up hating him. And I think it's still the case. I think he's still going to get... I mean, he is mostly beloved. Like, a few years ago, it was 50-50. Now it's more like, 75-25 in Cena's favor when he comes out, right? And even when they're singing, John Cena sucks, John Cena sucks. Like, it's kind of like when they say you suck to Kurt Angle. They don't mean it. It's just kind of fun.
They're going to be in Jersey. I think they're going to mean it in Jersey. I think they like John Cena too much.
At this point, though, it's not like he's this guy that gets overpushed and shoved down your throats. He's not the Super Cena that he was. He loses a lot. If
he wrestles for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, he's going for the 17th run. Like, yeah, he's being pushed way too much. People are going to hate that.
Sure. So, a lot of times WrestleMania is like the bizarro world, as WWE likes to say. And, Michael Cole, can you believe it? These fans are cheering for Bryan. Why would they be doing that? And fine. And hey, maybe this finally goes where it should with Bryan turning babyface. Because saving the planet, recycling, reading, learning, and being an overall good person should be babyface things to say. He's getting booed for wanting the planet to be in good shape. Okay? He should be a babyface. And if he were a babyface, he could influence the kids to be better people. That's good. He is a good influence. He is a role model. We should be applauding him and telling our children to look up to him as a guy to model yourself after. He's saying good things. Save the planet. Boo. What? I'm sitting there at home like, yeah, it makes sense, Bryan. Yep. Yeah.
You don't eat meat?
Well, certain things,
I think Kevin always had a problem with that.
Oh, I like meat. I like to eat meat. But I understand his point of view. I understand what he's saying. It's not good for the planet to eat all the meat that we do. We consume too much meat as a species.
The main point, though, is it's not going to be Kofi again. Kofi's just, he's already had a shot at Elimination Chamber, Fastlane. Do we really need a third pay-per-view of Kofi? I don't think so. It's great he's getting a shot. Fantastic. I just don't think we need to see it 3 pay-per-views in a row.
And shouldn't he take the Universal title from Seth Rollins? Come on, man. You really want to see Seth beat Brock, and then Seth will be on Raw, just Sething it up as Universal Champion? That'd be terrible. And then who does he face? Braun or Drew or, Ugh. No.
Well,
no.
I'm almost expecting the titles to switch shows, so it doesn't really matter. But I think Kofi should win Money in the Bank, and that would greatly increase his chances of becoming WWE Champion.
Or he wins the Rumble next year. This could be a long build for Kofi. People want to see him win. So delay it. Make them pay for it. Right? That's wrestling, isn't it? You got a hot babyface. All right, well, let's build him. Let's build him to where he's a legit threat in the main event. Not where he's a hope. Let's build him to the match where everybody tunes in because you think this is the night. And then it's not. It'll be in 2 months. That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
I worry that the Rumble is way too far away, that they'll have different ideas by then. And Kofi will be cold by then, too.
Roman will be back full-time by then.
A lot of people will be either gone or coming in. So the landscape's going to be different. It changes so quickly in just a year's time. You got to kind of strike where the iron's hot, in a sense. Which I think Money in the Bank, it's perfect time to give him the briefcase. He's been in the Money in the Bank so many times, never won.
Yeah, summertime, Money in the Bank. Kofi Kingston going for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Or the Universal title or whatever.
I think that's a great build.
All right. I think a lot of people are going to be upset with us because I feel like many people just want to see Kofi win the title at Fastlane.
Well, I wouldn't mind that. If he wins it, fine. I don't see it happening, though.
I would be mad. And I don't want to be mad about Kofi winning the WWE title, but I don't want this Bryan thing to end. It's too good.
Is Kofi Mania really that strong? I mean, I like to believe it is, but I don't think it is, though.
I don't think it is. I'm happy that Kofi's finally getting this shot, though. I'm happy that the rest of the wrestling world seems to be waking up to the fact that Kofi deserves better, that New Day deserves better. Because we've been banging this drum for so long. It's nice that the WWE's actually gonna maybe go there.
There's definitely much more hope than ever before, because before he was barely even making the pay-per-views, right? Or it'd be a tag team match and that's it. So, yeah, things are better, much better.
Like we've said, how many times can the New Day really win the tag team titles? They're above the tag team division. And it shouldn't stop at Kofi, by the way. Once Kofi wins the title, like, let it roll.
Well, let's see it happen
Big E,
first.
Xavier, they're also championship material. Do not forget that those guys deserve it too. Kofi first, and then Woods and Big E.
One thing at a time.
The Shield all got a shot with the belt. The Shield, nowhere near as entertaining as the New Day, for me.
Nowhere near as pushed as heavy. You know, like they were pushed much more than New Day ever was.
Yeah, I know. But that's not right, is what I'm saying. So, Woods, Big E, their time is coming too. All right. Mandy Rose time has come. Also, DX going into the WWE Hall of Fame. We got a lot to get to here still on Wrestling Uncensored. We are here on TSN 690. We're going to take a short pause. When we come back, we will tell you about new entrants going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. A lot of rumors going around about potential names, and we'll get to those when we come back. Stay with us.
Hey everybody, this is CM Punk, and you're listening to the Ringside Report. This is Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Antonio Cesaro, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. Johnny North right here with me, here with you every Saturday night, talking professional wrestling. WrestlingUncensored.net. That's the website, right?
I believe
Yeah,
so. Also,
yeah.
RingsideReport.net works.
Oh, yeah, RingsideReport.net works, too. What's the YouTube channel, John?
It's RingsideReport.net with the .net spelled out.
Yeah. Go there. Did you see Dave and Johnny live this week? Looking awesome. New camera setup. We're testing all sorts of new stuff. Dave and Johnny Live is the YouTube show that Johnny and I do every Friday afternoon around 12:30, 12:45. Johnny and I go live, and we had a new camera set up this week, new microphones, all sorts of new stuff. Looking like a TV studio in here.
It's getting there. You know, still some things to work out, some bugs to work out, but it's coming together.
You happy with it, John? You all right?
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. It seemed like you had much more trouble than I did.
I wasn't having trouble. I was just testing things out. Certain things worked, certain things didn't. We'll figure it out. It's a work in progress, but so far, looking pretty good, Johnny. Looking pretty good. Triple H, Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, Shawn Michaels, and Chyna, all going into the WWE Hall of Fame together as Degeneration-X. Shawn Michaels already in the Hall of Fame as Shawn Michaels, so he's going to be going in twice. Chyna, a lot of people wanted her to go in the Hall of Fame by herself. A lot of people were pushing for her to go in the Hall of Fame. She's going in with DX. I think that's where it's going to kind of end with Chyna going into the Hall of Fame. And it's good, you know. There was talk that they wouldn't want to put her in the Hall of Fame because she did porn or whatever. There were different reasons. Of course, if you know the history of Chyna, you know that she was dating Triple H, and then Triple H was cheating on her with Stephanie McMahon, and then Chyna was let go by the WWE soon after she found out that Triple H was cheating on her with Stephanie. And then, of course, Triple H and Stephanie got married and had kids, and Chyna did porn and died at a young age. So it's uncomfortable.
You're not doing the Triple H voice where he says, like, complexities. That's the new excuse now.
A lot of complexities with China. I mean, I loved her, but so did X-Pac, and then so did that other guy in that video, who was playing me. I didn't like that. You get to porno about wrestling, that crosses the line, and you know me. I draw the line in the sand, evolution,
You do realize Triple H is going to go in the most times in the Hall of Fame with all the groups he was in and individually?
So you think he's going to go in with Evolution, he's going to go in with DX, and he's going to go in by himself?
Without question.
Well, he would still just tie Ric Flair then.
Ric Flair's only been in twice?
Yeah, but if he goes in with Evolution, it'd be 3 times, just like Triple H.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. That's true, yeah, tie Ric. But he'd be okay with that. He'd be fine with that, actually.
Yeah, him and Rick.
Yeah.
Exclusive club. Right now, Ric Flair is the only guy who has a 2-time Hall of Fame induction. Went in with the 4 Horsemen and went in as the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Shawn Michaels going in now 2 times. Went in by himself. Now going in with DX. There are rumors that Bret Hart will also be going in 2 times. Rumors that the Hart Foundation are going to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hart, the great tag team. Now, I heard it was a Hart Foundation. I'm wondering if it means just Bret and Anvil, or if it means Bret, Anvil, Owen, Davey, and Pillman.
No, I think it's just Bret, Anvil, and Jimmy Hart. That's it.
Why is the British Bulldog not in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Because he's going to go individually, apparently.
When?
In the future.
What are we waiting for?
For the moment to do it.
He's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
He's not. Lex Luger's not. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Why aren't the British Bulldogs as a tag team in the Hall of Fame? Dynamite's passed away now. Davey's passed away. Get Harry Smith in there to do the speech. What are we waiting for?
So they're going to bring in all the AEW guys? Like, that's going to happen? Like, Billy Gunn's coming back?
Harry Smith isn't an AEW guy. He's a New Japan guy.
Okay.
But Billy Gunn works for All Elite Wrestling, and he's going to be going there. Did you see Rusev tweeted out, I wonder what T-shirt Billy Gunn's going to wear at the Hall of Fame?
What shirt they're going to let him wear is the question.
Man, Rusev wants to leave the WWE. It seems like him and Lana just want out.
Well, they got kicked off Total Divas, right? They didn't like him, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So that sucks.
Rusev was great on Total Divas.
Apparently, they didn't like the demo, apparently, so.
Well, I think Rusev wants to go to AEW. So, DX going into the Hall of Fame. Interesting that, Chyna's going in. That Billy Gunn is going in. Triple H, obviously it was a matter of time before he was inducted in some way into the Hall of Fame, right?
No Hornswoggle.
Yeah, Swoggle doesn't get in. I mean, a lot of honorary members of DX not getting in. Mike Tyson.
I think
although he turned on DX at WrestleMania, so.
But he joined them again afterwards. Remember with Chris Jericho?
Oh, that's true. How come Tyson's not going in with DX? Tyson's in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
But I feel Rick Rude, like he was like a founding member in a sense. He should have been in there.
Yeah, DX. Was he a founding member, or did they add him on as like a little bit later?
I feel like when they said it was DX as a group, he was there. He was standing there.
Yeah. In the suit with the briefcase.
He was part of some important moments in DX history. When you look back at the history, he's there.
I don't know if anybody screwed WWE over harder than Rick Rude during the Monday Night Wars.
Medusa.
Yeah, she did too. But like, Rick Rude was the only guy I remember seeing on Raw and Nitro the same night.
Right.
Because they had taped Raw and Rick Rude was on, and then he showed up on the live Nitro. Like, no one else did that. Maybe that's why he's not gone into the Hall of Fame. Because, ravishing Rick Rude deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, individually he is. It's just
is he?
Yeah. Individually he's already put in. It's just he's not getting the 2 because only Shawn and Rick can get that.
Do you think that's it?
I think it's exactly it.
That's why Rick Rude's not going in with original DX. Nobody really thinks of Rick Rude with DX though. Like when you think of the original DX, you think of Chyna and Shawn and Hunter. X-Pac's going into the Hall of Fame too, right?
Yeah.
With DX,
right?
But he's not individual.
Nope. No 1, 2, 3 kid.
Interesting.
Well, I think they're just trying to pack in as many as they can, and if they don't have to throw in Rick Rude, they're not going to throw him in.
So DX going into the Hall of Fame. There are rumors that the Hart Foundation's going into the Hall of Fame. I'm guessing it'll be just the tag team, right?
Jimmy Hart too.
Oh, Jimmy Hart with them?
So he'll be 2 times as well, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart's going to go in with the tag team? I don't know about that. I think it'll be just Anvil and Brett.
He should. He really should.
I don't think he will.
Shame.
Honky Tonk Man apparently is going in this year.
I thought he was already in. Wow.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Honky Tonk. He'll say some crazy stuff at the Hall of Fame. That'll be good.
Well, again,
Honky.
I wonder what he can say because they'll get the censor out for him, I'm sure.
Well, it's live, right? Well, I guess they could still censor it out. But why would they on the network? Why would they censor old Honky?
He's kind of crazy, Honky Tonk Man. He can say some crazy things. I think didn't you interview him one time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's fun. He's fun. Wow. Arn Anderson, who's worked for the WWE for years, has been let go.
Right before Ric Flair's birthday on Raw. It's kind of crazy.
That is weird. And Arn, definitely close with Cody. If they wanted a good producer, good brother, Arn Anderson.
Well, I know some people that Arn didn't please in WWE, so I'm sure a lot of people are actually happy that Arn Anderson's been let go because he was not fun to be around. In fact, he's kind of a pain in the butt.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know Arn Anderson. But, guy's a legend in the business. No longer with the WWE. Also no longer with the WWE. Ty Dillinger granted his release this week. People are asking for their releases left and right. Hideo Itami got his release. Ty Dillinger now. It's crazy.
You can understand why. The guy was over. He wasn't used whatsoever. I mean, I'm sure he could probably make more money, not just, eating catering all the time. He probably wants to wrestle.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
Well, I think he actually likes wrestling, unlike some guys that are okay with just having catering every week. And you can tell, with them calling more people NXT, like he's going to get a shot now? I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense for him to leave. Itami, too.
It's just a shame because, on Raw, I remember one match, they just keep chanting 10, 10, and they did nothing with them.
No.
It's a shame.
They tried to do a little something, but it just never went anywhere.
I think they just, we'll showcase him and we'll use him to put over people we want to get over, but he's not one of the guys we want to get over.
Yeah. So he's gone. Maybe he winds up Ring of Honor, AEW, Impact, Japan. Who knows? But I think we'll definitely see him in a ring sometime very soon. I want to address Paul Heyman and something he said this week on Raw.
He upset you.
Well, he just told a lie. It was revisionist history from Paul Heyman, and I need to address it so that people know the truth. Paul Heyman talked about Brock Lesnar, as he does. He says Brock won the NC2A Division I National Wrestling title, and then he was recruited by the WWE. He didn't go to them. They came to him, which is true. Heyman says 6 months after Brock's debut in the WWE, he beat The Rock to become champion, which is true. He says Brock went to the UFC and became champion and beat Randy Couture, which is true. But then he said he grew bored of the competition in the UFC, so he went back to see this new crop of stars that had developed in the WWE while he was gone. What actually happened was he ran into a guy by the name of Cain Velasquez, who showed him what a real heavyweight champion mixed martial artist looks like, beat him severely, and then he fought Aleister Overeem and got beat up severely and knocked out. So he left the sport and went back to WWE when he could no longer hang with the elite heavyweights in the UFC. That's actually what happened. And then when he did go back to the UFC a few years later, he had a fight with Mark Hunt that he won by decision, but was then turned into a no contest when Brock failed a drug test. So, Heyman didn't give you the full story on Raw. And when we're talking about Brock, all due respect, but let's just be real with what we're seeing here. Obviously, Heyman doesn't want to talk about Cain Velasquez, but I got news, guys. Cain Velasquez lost his last UFC fight. It looked like his knee blew out again. Maybe he's looking to get out of the MMA game. I know he's been in NXT. He's trained in NXT. Maybe Cain Velasquez is going to be a problem that the WWE and Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are going to have to address at some point.
Well, he said last year he's coming for Brock's belt at the Elimination Chamber, so won't be surprised. But you're also forgetting the fact that Brock got sick when he was in the UFC.
Of course, the diverticulitis played a factor. But I think a healthy Brock Lesnar still gets beat by Cain Velasquez.
And Aleister Overeem? The Overeem one I'm not sure about there.
Overeem? Super Overeem? Did you see that guy?
I remember, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But he hit him in his gut, and that's what got him.
Do you know what kind of striker Aleister Overeem? Do you know the level of kickboxing that this guy has? Yeah. Overeem is a real mixed martial artist. Way more experienced than Brock. Overeem beats Brock 9 times out of 10. And Cain, I think, beats him 10 times out of 10, no matter what Brock shows up. Cain Velasquez? Don't kid yourself. This guy may be the most talented heavyweight that's ever existed.
And yet Brock is the guy who they're saying is going for the UFC Heavyweight Championship next.
Well, Brock is the most marketable UFC heavyweight ever. He sold the most pay-per-views. Doesn't mean he's the best.
There's some quality there. You can't discredit that.
Oh, he's great. He's definitely a great fighter. I'm not going to say he's not a great fighter, but Paul Heyman said that Brock grew bored of the competition in the UFC. Maybe Brock gets bored when he's beaten up. You know, maybe when people punch him in the face, he's like, "This is boring. I don't want to do this anymore." I don't know, but yeah, it was funny that Heyman put it in that way. Couple good matches that I wanted to mention on Raw and SmackDown this week. Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott, the main event of Raw, I thought was quite good. You know, way better, way more of a match than they had at the Elimination Chamber. And I thought Ronda and Ruby had good chemistry in there.
I liked Ronda's gear, though, at Elimination Chamber more because she went back to her old gear. I thought the Sonya Blade stuff was a lot better. Yeah,
I think that the gear she wore at the Chamber could be her full-time wrestling outfit, and the stuff she wore on Raw just looked like stuff you throw on to go work out.
Exactly.
Just like an ordinary workout top and workout shorts. It didn't look like Ronda was there to perform. It just looked like Ronda was there to work out in the gym. It was weird. Put a little effort into it. The outfit needs to get a little better, I think, for Ronda. That's one thing that's lacking in her game. I think her promos are good, her wrestling's good, but put a little more effort into your ring attire. You see all the other women, there's a lot of effort put into their cool gear. You look at Naomi or Natty or Sasha or Bayley. You know, they all have cool gear, and Ronda's got some very plain, very boring, right off the rack at your local sporting goods store gear. It's like, come on, Ronda, step it up. You got money. Spend some money on your gear. Look cooler. You look cool at the Elimination Chamber. You're a pro wrestler. Dress like it.
But she's definitely carrying Raw without question. She is the main event. She deserves to be in the main event because she's the best thing to watch on Raw.
Definitely. Definitely she is. And Mandy Rose beat Asuka this week on SmackDown. That's right. Mandy Rose beat Asuka. Mandy faked an eye injury. The referee was keeping Asuka away. And then Mandy, threw Asuka into the ropes and then rolled her up.
There was also Lacey Evans' distraction.
Lacey Evans came out and distracted Asuka. Sonya Deville was ringside too. So there was a lot of things playing against Asuka. But in the end, Mandy rolled her up 1, 2, 3.
More than likely setting up a match for Fastlane, so
where Asuka beats her.
You would hope, right?
And then Lacey Evans versus Asuka at WrestleMania seems like the plan. Apparently WWE's very high on Lacey Evans, and that's where they want to go.
It's a bit of a shame because, she beat Becky, and she kind of beat Charlotte as well. And then she went on and beat Becky again, and then she comes back and loses to Mandy Rose. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. You push her so high, and then all of a sudden you lose to Mandy Rose? Are you going to lose to Lacey Evans, too, at Mania? Come on. There's so much more they could be doing with Asuka. Disappointing. It's disappointing. What was not disappointing, though, was the main event of SmackDown. I thought that 6-man tag was excellent. Kofi, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles beating Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe. It was fun.
And yet again, Kofi pins Daniel Bryan. I feel like you're just not going to see this too many more times. I mean, maybe one more time on SmackDown, but that's about it. The fact that he's beaten him 2-3 times now, you're not going to see him beat him for the title.
No.
I just hope people understand this, because I know everyone wants to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think the same people that think Kofi's going to win the title believe that Becky is really getting screwed out of a WrestleMania match. Becky Lynch not on Raw or SmackDown this week. Pump the brakes. Don't sound the alarm. Becky will be back. It'll be fine. It'll be Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, triple threat, WrestleMania for the title.
I think Becky's on Raw this week, too.
Oh, is she? And it'll be the Ric Flair birthday celebration, 70 years of Nate. Becky will probably interrupt that, attack Ric Flair, Charlotte shows up, Ronda Rousey, huge melee, WrestleMania. Or Becky versus Charlotte at Fastlane, Becky wins, she gets in the match at Mania. Whatever. Something. They're going to do something. Becky will be in that match, without a doubt. Why have they focused on Becky so much? Come on. It's okay. So that's Raw coming up on Monday. Johnny North, your next match, though, when can people see you in the ring? Your last match was amazing. I was there. You versus Drew Onyx. No DQ. Incredible stuff. And, when's the next one, man?
It's going to be March 24th, defending the British Commonwealth Championship against Sheldon Jean. 4325 Industrial Boulevard. Bell time is 2 p.m. I believe tickets are $10 at the door, and if you get them ahead of time, it's $8. So,
nice.
Yeah, get a hold of Drew Onyx and get them early.
What happened to the $5?
Oh, things go up now.
Yeah, they're more expensive.
Yeah, they're more expensive now. Yeah.
Wow, it used to be $5, now they're $8 or $10.
Which
is still very affordable for the awesome show you will get. Just $10 to see Johnny North is worth the price.
Well worth it.
That match was awesome. Excellent match that you can see on AJ's YouTube channel that I will not promote. Go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. There's definitely links out there for Johnny's match. Follow him on Twitter at North Genesis, on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. Had some encounters with George St. Pierre this week, so you can go to my social media to see that type of stuff. And for everything else, WrestlingUncensored.net. Thanks to Jimmy and Marco for helping us out back at TSN 690. And a big thanks to you for listening. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.